Project 2025 director stepping down amid backlash from Trump. I got to pee.
Of Project 2025 has stepped down after facing criticism from both Democrats and the Trump campaign. Paul Dance helmed the right-wing policy blueprint and personnel project, which was backed by the conservative Heritage Foundation. And if it was enacted, it would dramatically reshape how the federal government operates. At least 140 former Trump administration officials contributed to this project, and many of its proposals overlap with Trump's plans for a second term. But the former president has both criticized and distanced himself from it.
I don't know what the hell it is. It's Project 25. He's involved in Project, and then they read some of the things, and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme. But I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it.
Now, I should note the Trump campaign appeared to cheer Paul Dance's departure tonight, even though he is an alum of the Trump administration. He served in the OPM office, saying in a quote, "Its demise would be greatly welcomed and should serve as notice to anyone or any group trying to misrepresent their influence with President Trump and his campaign. It will not end well for you." I should note, Paul Dance was supposed to join me on this show tonight, and we hope that he will soon, but he unfortunately canceled our interview within the last hour. Here's Dance in his own words about the project he'd been working on for years.
Our book is a set of proposals by conservative organizations. Donald Trump and his campaign alone set the agenda.
Yeah,
but these are ideas to help them, and they'll pick and choose. But you know, a lot of the mischaracterization now and false attributions of things to Project 2025, it's kind of what Scott's saying. They have nothing else to run on.
Joining us now is Washington Post national political reporter Isaac Arnstorff, who has been following Project 2025 and its relationship with the Trump campaign closely. And Isaac, in your reporting tonight, you talk about how it became this rallying cry for Democrats, but also was a nuisance for the Republican nominee Donald Trump as he is trying to escape the public spotlight and repair relations with Trump's campaign. Can you just lay out a breakdown for people who have heard about Project 2025, but also just heard what Trump said on what this relationship and what Project 2025 was actually doing?
Project 2025 started before Trump was the nominee, before it was clear that he was going to be the nominee. And the idea was for the Heritage Foundation to get together a whole bunch of think tanks in the conservative movement and present a consensus view for an agency by agency policy blueprint for the next administration, whoever that Republican president was going to be. Now, obviously, and there were actually some concerns that the president of the Heritage Foundation was too close to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for a while, and that could be an issue. But obviously, as it became clear that Trump was going to be the nominee, and so many of the contributors to this project were alumni of the Trump White House and the Trump administration, and would naturally be the kinds of people who Trump would look to staff the next administration if he does win. And so that's why when, the Trump campaign has not been super specific about the details of what he would implement in a second term, naturally, a lot of people looked at his staff, his former staff.
Dude, imagine being a Heritage Foundation guy, and you're just like, what is a blanket list of Trump proposals, judging by what he has done thus far, that like aligns with the Republican Party's agenda? You get together all the nerds, okay? All the nerds that weren't like sexually assaulted by Matt Schlapp. You put them in one room, okay? That's right. There's another sex pest in the Republican Party, Matt Schlapp, in the closet gay man and a regular sexual assaulter. That's besides the point. You get them all together, okay? There's like fucking 10 remaining that Matt Schlapp hasn't tried to grab the dicks of. So they get together in a room and they're just like, cook up this fucking nerdy ass Bible for Donald Trump, because they're like, oh, sir, this is going to be so sick, okay? Trump obviously is like, I don't fuck with that nerd shit. What is this? I don't care. Whatever, okay? Then months after you obviously reveal this to the public, you're like, this is what we're going to do. It's going to be awesome. Everyone's like, wow, brilliant. This is exactly how we usher in a new wave of American conservatism. Many are saying it's the fourth of a certain thing. I won't say what it is, but the fourth of it, okay? Not the third one, but the fourth one, right? They're like talking about this, right? They think this is going to be awesome. And then TikTok and YouTube get a hold of it and are like, bro, this shit's fucking insane. The media's not covering it yet because why would they? It's another think tank policy paper. There's a million of them and they're all equally terrifying. Obviously, no producer that's been a fucking producer for 20 plus years is going to look at that and go, wow, that's just scary. Okay. But then TikTok reads it. Okay. YouTubers start reading it. And they're like, oh my God, this shit is fucking crazy. These Republicans are out of control. The Democratic Party still is not talking about it because they're like, what do you mean, Jack? Oh, this is Project 2025. I don't know. No, I'm old. Okay. And then somewhere along the line, it reaches like peak mainstream terminal velocity and the media does start paying attention to it. They're like, all these kids are fucking talking about this Project 2025. Let's look into this. Okay. So they start covering it too. And then it becomes so unimaginably toxic to be associated with the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025 as a direct consequence of TikTok that Donald Trump comes out and is like, those guys are woke. They're gay. I don't know them. Never will I ever do Project 2025. And all these guys that spent all of those years dodging Matt Schlapp, grabbing their penises, only to go and work at the Heritage Foundation, are just sitting there like, dude, we wrote this for you. Like, what do you mean? That's your thing. Former President Trump has no authority over, responsibility for, or connection to Project 2025. And to make this absolutely clear, the campaign managers have just noisily fired the public-facing director of the project. Hey, wait a minute. President Trump's campaign has been very clear that Project 2025 had nothing to do with the campaign. Reports of Project 2025's demise would be greatly welcome. They literally fire the head of Project 2025. Okay? Specifically so they can like disassociate with the Heritage Foundation, which is not a thing you can do as the Republican. It is very much a part of the Republican strategy. They know that over there. They'll willingly go, yeah, we're bad. But everybody knows that this is very much a fundamental part of the Republican policy-making apparatus. Okay?
And the ideas that were being presented to kind of fill in those blanks.
But he just did? What do you mean he just did? It doesn't matter. They're just trying to fucking cut ties with it. But that doesn't change the reality that they've been implementing Project 2025 for the past 30 fucking years. Okay? As a matter of fact, Project 2025 was written off of what Trump did when he assumed the role of the presidency. So the idea that this is like totally out of pocket is ridiculous. It's just that people started paying attention to it. It's kind of like Israel, right? Israel kills children on a regular basis, sometimes by the tens, sometimes by the hundreds, okay, on a daily basis. But sometimes when Israel kills a group of children, it actually upsets the Western world. So then they go, yo, Israel's killing children out there. What the fuck? So immediately they have to turn around and be like, whoa. Those kids deserved it. That's precisely what this is, okay? Project 2025 is identical in that situation. It's just regular old Republican engineering. It's always been the case. It will continue to be the case. But when people started paying attention to it and it became like something that you have to cover, the Trump administration turned around and went, no, that's not us. That's not us at all. I don't even know what that is. What is Project 2025? Who cares? Come on now. Okay?
And get a clearer sense of what that would look like. And then when the campaign saw that, they didn't want to own the things that were ending up being controversial.
But it's remarkable because a lot of this was, as you noted, done by people who worked for Trump. A lot of the proposals, when you look at them, are things that the people in Trump's campaign have actually proposed and suggested would happen if he did win a second term. So I think it's remarkable to see such a conservative group that Trump has praised the leader of the Heritage Foundation And to now see his campaign cheering, you know, the departure of the leader of this specific project.
Well, right. I mean, look, a lot of people at Heritage and involved in Project 2025 loved the notoriety that it was getting. They loved to see it being criticized on CNN and MSNBC. They loved that there were DNC mobile billboard trucks outside the office. But then when it started angering Trump, and they started getting backlash from Trump about it, that made them really concerned. And so some of what is going on here is trying to have a reset, trying to smooth this over with the campaign, try to get out of the spot.
Is he liable to piss off his base? No, it's nerd shit. No, his base doesn't give a shit. What are you talking about? No, the Heritage Foundation is a think tank. You just do what the think tank tells you to do, because the think tank is relaying the wishes of those in positions of power directly to the campaigns. No real fucking voter is like, oh wow, I really loved Project 2025. I'm so mad that he's not doing it. No, they don't give a fuck.
Spotlight, you know, offer up Paul Dans as a little bit of a sacrificial lamb, and you know, maybe we can just try to smooth this over. And publicly, the campaign is happy to take that W if it means that Project 2025 stops causing political problems for them. The thing is, I don't expect the Democrats to stop talking about it anytime soon.
Isaac Arnsdorf, it's a great point there. Thank you for joining tonight.
Thanks.
And I have a panel of political experts here to.
I think the funniest part about this is that absolutely zero people believe that Trump is legitimately distancing himself from Project 2025. I think that's pretty funny. So all he's done is just like demand that the head get fired. And that's basically it. And like everyone is still like, no, dude, this is your shit.